Okay, so we've covered a lot. We've gone over the settings page, we've gone over an interior quote, and we've gone over an exterior quote. In this video, we're going to be discussing templates and option groups, when to use them, how to use them, and the theory behind them. So we just did an exterior quote for the front and the right side of a house. And the question is, did we like that quote and would we like to save that for future use? And the way that we do that is we turn that into a template. So I always tell our users not to worry about going into the settings page and working late at night to get your template started. It's actually to use the software. Use the software, create a quote that you like, and then go back and turn that quote into a template, and then create a template labeling system that makes sense for your business. So that might be related to, it might be very broad. You might just want a couple templates, one for exteriors, one for interiors, or you might want to be very specific. So in this case, just for the example, we can create a very specific template. I'm going to try to upload that picture if I can. There we go. So this template, why don't we call this partial exterior wood siding. Wood siding plus trim. Okay, so that's now our template name. And here, because I clicked those three dots on the side and then I click turn quote into a template, now I'm actually in a template view, which is a duplicate of the quote view, but it's strictly what you want to see on your template. So I'm turning that quote that we did in the last video into a template for the future. So I might just want to review all this. I say that looks good. Now with my measurements, I might want to sort of take things out or take out the measurements. Again, my internet is having problems. Bear with me. So there we go. I might just want to start from fresh. So because this is a template, I might just delete all of the values that we had put in. Gonna get rid of that. Just zero everything out so that when I actually come in here to quote in the future, it's going to be nice and tidy. You get the idea. I can either zero out my prep or I can keep a little bit of prep in there. And I kind of like that. So I'm going to say, yeah, maybe I'll get rid of this and just say partial exterior as specified. So I know that I need to just enter in the information. Okay. Leaving it at that for now. There's not too much else I need to change. I might just go to my document editor page and just kind of, just have a look at it. I've got all the sections I want. Obviously, this is going to populate once I fill things out. Yeah, I'm overall happy with that. So again, now this template will be accessible to us going forward. So go back here. We can look at our estimate templates, but we can just show how it would show up if we go here. Just filter by custom. Where were we? So this is the template that we just created. I added in the picture from last time. So partial exterior wood siding plus trim. And you can have unlimited templates here. So you can actually search whatever you're doing and you can grab a template that makes the most sense and come up with a methodology that you enjoy for basically getting those templates. And it's going to save you so much time because ultimately these jobs are very repeatable. At least certain job types are very repeatable. And when you get comfortable utilizing templates to their full potential, you can get a lot faster while maintaining the accuracy of production rate quoting. So that covers templates for the most part. I think, there might be cases where I always start with a template. You just find the best fit for if you don't have a perfect template, take something that's close enough, create the quote, and then if you're going to be redoing more similar quotes to that in the future, again, the three dots here and template from, create your template. I think we estimate templates are one of the most powerful features, in my opinion, something we added very early on, but it has huge potential to speed up your quoting and just make it a very nice process once you have your templates built out. So there are also templates for documents, and there are also templates for the sections that make up documents. So I can quickly show you what that looks like. The eye there that I clicked on takes you to the document editor for that quote. So let's just say, just for argument's sake here, I'm going to make a small change to this estimate. Let's say I want to add in, let's say, I can add in a custom block, which is actually worth noting here. As now you're a power user, you should know that. So this is rich text. So you can turn this into anything. So let's just say I want to add in a block for a payment schedule. Sorry, not a block, a section. So I'm going to create that document section. Okay, so that's saved. Now I'm going to go into that document section, and I'm going to write my payment schedule. I can go first, second, third, etc. However I want to write that schedule, and copy and paste it from somewhere I already have that if I do. And then I'm going to go ahead and, when I'm happy with what I've put together here, I'm going to create a template from that document section, and it's going to be called payment schedule template. Click create template. Now my template is created successfully. Okay, so I basically now created a document section template, which means no matter any document on any quote, I'll be able to load in that section. So let's say I want to create a new document. Just for argument's sake, I'll bring in a change order. Okay, let's load up our change order. There we go. And we'll just wait here. Apologies for the slow internet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add document section from template. And this is where I can search for that payment schedule. Apparently I have two. And I'm going to go ahead and create that. Okay. So now that'll show up here. I don't know if that was, I wonder if the other one was different. Go ahead and delete that and see. I forget now which one I picked, but the point here is that these will be these will bring information into the quote. So if we had a problem here with the first, second, third that I wrote, I'm just going to go ahead and go to my settings. I'm going to go to document section templates. I'm going to search payment schedule. This was an old one. I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to edit this one. Maybe we had an issue with saving, so I'll go first, second, and I'll save that. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to my estimates. I'm going to go back to the documents. And I'm going to go ahead and delete this. add in my document section from template, payment schedule. Okay, somehow it added in twice, but let's just delete one of those. So the point here is that this document section will bring information that you want to reuse into any document. So I mentioned before that can be PDFs. I can actually insert a PDF here and I can save that as a template. You can do all kinds of things like that, where you can just put in text information. Now, the same thing applies for a document. Let's say I really need my change order document to have this payment schedule be a part of it in the future. Well, I can create a template from that document using the same process. So I'm going to say, like, let's call this improved or something like that. Maybe, hopefully I haven't used that word before. Change order improved. We'll create a template from that document. And we'll rename that to change order improved. Create template. And now what we can do is we can edit our template from our settings, or we can actually load that in to future documents as well. And that is a document template. So again, let's go back to the document editor page. And I'm going to go ahead and find that document to load up. So we'll go ahead and search for that, change order improved. And I can now create that document. Now, change order improved will be a new document that populates here that encompasses that information. So we've covered templates for the whole process. We've covered templates for sections of a document. And now we've covered templates for the whole document itself. So a lot of powerful templating features are here. Next, I want to discuss option groups. Option groups are incredibly powerful because you are able to price things separately. So there's multiple ways to do that. Let's just say you were on the site we're covering with that last exterior quote that we just did. And let's say the customer says, hey, you know what? I really need you to do the trim, but I'm not too sure the siding is that important right now. It looks pretty good to me. Well, you can say no problem. You can quickly and easily price that siding separately. So first and foremost, the way that I would do that is I'd click here. There's a little button at the bottom here which says optional add-on. I'm going to create a new optional group, which is going to be siding. I can take any notes I want to there. I'm not going to right now. I'm going to create that as an option group. So now I've moved this siding, these hours and these gallons, I've moved that into an option group. Okay. You can see that there. Now I do need to kind of think about prep because some of the prep will be involved with the option group. And the way I'm going to do that is, I mean, you can do it a few different ways, but let's say prep. Let's just call that, depending on what I have in here, going to be scraping. We'll just call it scraping, sanding, and priming. And we'll call that optional add-on, siding. And let's say there's only 2 hours there. And I'm actually going to label this and washing, siding. So basically this is a siding. You can make that look pretty, but just call that siding. And we're going to call that, let's say 3 hours, because we still have to be there for a pretty long amount of time, because just to set up and clean up with that pressure washer, and the trim is the base quote. So I've got 3 hours additional if they elect for the siding option. Now I might just take out a few hours here. So let's just kind of reduce this to 2, and we will reduce this by 1 in our main quote. Okay. So now we have 3 hours for the option group, and the rest is for other stuff. Okay, so now let's see how that shows up. We can review it. And there's a toggle down here where you can show your options table. And you can see 22 hours, 22.75 hours, 14 gallons, 26.75. And it obviously reduced our trim price to $3,485 and 49.75 hours and 3 gallons. So that also shows up as an option group here. I did mention to you before in a previous video that you can manually add an option group here. So if you don't feel like utilizing the production rates to calculate an option group, you can quickly and easily put that in here. You can also do negative numbers. So let's just say we wanted to make a discount. We can actually put in minus $200. Let's say for previous customer discount. Okay, and we can update that. So now we have a few different options that are available. And you can obviously create more options there. And let's see how that shows up on the quote itself. Again, we can add our images in. I think we still have the same image as before. So $26.75 to add the siding, but our base price is $34.85 for the trim. And we have it at totaling up to $5,960. It's looking pretty good. Now, I do also want to cover 2 more things related to options. I did mention to you before, you can either duplicate these areas on the measurement page or create new ones. Let's just say, hypothetically, that they wanted the back and the left side of the house to be a separate option. We can go ahead and duplicate that. So now we've duplicated, we've copied that front and right. Now, all we want to do is change the wording there. We'll call this, let's say, the back and the left of the house. Okay. And let's say we want to make that an option. So again, we're going to add an option group here, and we can do this from the whole area as opposed to just a takeoff. So before we were putting an option, we were assigning an option to just a takeoff box. Each individual box is a takeoff box, and we were assigning an option group to that. Here, we're going to be assigning an option group to a full area, which includes a whole page of or unlimited takeoff boxes per se. So I'm going to call this the back and left of house. Okay. And we're going to create that option group. Okay. Make sure that saves. And then here, we'll go through this. We'll change our measurements and all that. I'm not going to do that right now and bore you. So we have now 3 options. We have the trim on the front and the right side of the house. We have, excuse me for a second. We have the trim on the front and the right side of the house. We have the siding on the front and the right of this house. And we have the back and the left of the house, including everything, as another option. So the reason I used a full area there is because it includes multiple takeoffs. Last but not least, on the document editor, inside of your totals block, and I'll cover this more in the next video, you can do a lot. So this is where you can also impact the option groups. And we can take a look at those here. So this also shows up here. But I'm going to save that for the next video. So in today's video, we covered templates, all types of template, and we covered option groups and how you can use them and how those show up on quotes. See, everything is separated by options, including the paint groups table, including your prep. It can all be different. Sorry, not your prep, but your surfaces by paint group. So this is your actual description of scope, and this is your prep, all separated. And this would be your optional add-ons, and this is your base price. Okay, so everything is there. And again, publish and send. Please let me know if you have any questions. Happy to help. Stay with me to the next video because we'll cover all the document types, work orders, how to change those, and how to get those in the right spots.